Hello everyone, and in today's video I'm gonna talk a little about my personal life. I actually went on a date for about like 5 days ago, I believe, if not 4. And let me tell you, I was at a shopping mall with my friends, and we went into the store. I saw a girl I thought was good looking. I went up to her, even though it took a shit lot of convincing from my friends because I was scared. I mean, who wouldn't be? Especially since I've been rejected a lot. You know, a lot of you can sympathize with that, being rejected in not so kind ways. But I thought to myself, but with help from my friends, that she the worst she can say is no, which in this case, the worst she okay, it didn't come to that she said no. She actually said yes. I asked her, like, or it was like I went up to her. She was with her mother, so I had to talk to her when her mother wasn't right there. So I talked to her when she went away from her mother, and asked her, like, excuse me, I thought you were beautiful, can I get your snap or the phone number or something. I probably should have said instead, like, excuse me, you're real beautiful, uh, or do maybe are you single, or uh, are you, like, something that really shows that you're interested romantically. And I don't know if I should have done that. I don't know. But I got her snap, and then the next day, I think, or the same day, I asked her, like, do you want to go to dinner tomorrow? And she surprisingly said yes. And when we went on in my opinion, it was a date. I mean, it was pretty obvious that I was into her. Maybe she just didn't understand that, but. And we went on this date. I wouldn't say it went very good. It went good. It went like a normal date should go. We talked, we socialized, but nothing particular, nothing special. Only like things I could pick out that was special were, you know, me hyper analyzing the situation. I was asking her, like, a lot of questions that seemed normal at first, but the, like, purpose was to get information, like valuable information for me. And I also had to constrain myself a lot. I had to almost put up this nice guy act, and I don't like acting. So in my I try to just show the most positive side of me, uh, and avoided saying some things I think is the truth. I didn't, like, lie to her. I didn't show her a fake me, in a sense, because I didn't fake anything. I didn't fake my kindness or politeness. I am polite, I am kind, but I did not tell her specific things. Like, when she told me she had a lesbian friend, I could have said that's disgusting, but I did not. I restrained myself, and I was like, okay, okay. Uh, and I made some, like, for a normal person, off-putting jokes, and she got probably turned off by that. So I stopped, and then we talked a little about racism against Asians, and then I told her, I probably this is the worst thing I could have told her, but I want to be honest. I told her that when a black person walked by me and did the ching chong fucking shit and called me a ching chong, I called him N word and told him to shut the fuck up, you fucking N word. And that didn't she didn't seem to like that at all. And she was like, you never say the N word. And I was like, okay, whatever you say. I was like, yeah, okay, I don't agree with that, but sure. And then but we still had fun. We joked around, we talked about games, we talked about school, we talked about life in general, a little family. And she seemed like a very normal person in my opinion. Like maybe some would say she had a personality of a girl that sticks out a little. She isn't, one in the crowd, but she's, in my opinion, still one in the crowd. She's just like, there are two types of girls mainly in the world. There are girls who follow the mainstream and girls who are independent. Uh, but most of the time, these mainstream girls, they follow the mainstream openly, while these second girls think they are independent while they are also following the mainstream. I think she's kind of like that. Or I'm just, creating shit in my head because, she never said she was special. She just, acted and didn't seem like a mainstream girl, if you can say it like that. Uh, I don't know. I found her interesting. I found her attractive, but she was responsive to me. She didn't, I wasn't the one holding the conversation alive. She asked me questions too, but I felt a lot more like, I was talking with a friend, kind of. And, she said a lot of things about how she's very invested in studying, and, that's a good green flag in women, but, she's very invested in studying, and, that's, in my opinion, is a red flag, because that means they prioritize studying over relationship and all that shit. She prioritizes school over you, and that is a red flag. I know motherfuckers saying like, oh, you might not always have a future with a person, or like the person you're dating, and you always have a future in studying. And I don't mean like, sure, but the person you love, you're supposed to love them. You can't prioritize fucking studying. You can study whenever you want. You can't love someone whenever you want. Or I think you kind of get it. Okay. Those who don't get it, you don't want to understand. So I'm too tired to fucking try to explain it. But and like I said before, it was when talking to her, I felt a little choked. I felt constrained. It was like walking on ice. It was like I can't say certain things. I have to talk about normie shit. I can't say anything controversial. I can't make this certain joke. I couldn't even say like the most basic shit in my head. Like in my head, some basic shit that I want to say to a girl is that, you know, I don't like fucking girls who dress like horse. I don't like fucking girls who expect everything, And I can't say that because then I just appear to be a fucking weird motherfucker. And also, I said, like, asked her, can you split the pay? And she reacted a little, offended almost by that. And I was like, oh, you don't have to, but that if you ask someone, can you split the pay? That means you want them to split the pay. She was like, I can do that. I have no problem with that. And I fucking noticed, in my opinion, I noticed she was angry at me, but I didn't care, because also, that's another thing. I met that girl like 2 days prior. I ain't gonna fucking fucking give her dinner for free, and some of you motherfuckers gonna say like, oh my god, this is when you're fucking single, like you have to be polite to a girl. I was fucking polite, man. Do you want me to fucking if she behaves exactly like the girl I want to, I want, then I can pay for dinner, because then I don't lose anything. Because this version of a girl that I imagine is perfect is a girl who doesn't prioritize other things over me, and is straight with me, because she wasn't super straight with me, in my opinion. She was like, if she was interested in me, romantically, it felt more like she was just interested to get to know me a little. It was like, I mean, we probably both have the same idea of like scouting to see what kind of person this person was, and see if we wanted to do anything after meeting them for the first time. Uh, and it's been 2 days, if not more, and she's left me on sent, and she told me that she rarely uses Snapchat and that she's very busy, and I believe her half, because I have another friend from that goes to her school, and they are also busy all the time. But there's also the saying that if a girl really wants to, she will make time for you, and that is true. And she does have time. She has been online on Snap. She does. It's just that she doesn't answer me, and I'm just thinking, maybe she's answering classmates, schoolwork, and she was a pretty girl. She was a nice girl, but she probably isn't the one for me because she prioritizes school too much, and I literally can't hang out with her because she doesn't have time. So that's a little sad, but I think I'll try. I've kept saying this for a long time, but my reform, I think it's time for me to really, reform, to change. I need to talk to more people. I need to talk to girls. I need to kind of, if you say it, explore or something. I don't know. I can't just sit inside, expect someone to, like, even when I was black pilled, I told myself, I haven't given up, and people who give up, like, literally, I believe a lot of black pillars, they don't get friends or anything because they never try hard enough. They maybe try, but they don't try hard enough. Like, trying hard is not talking to 10 people or 20 or 50. It's talking to hundreds. And I understand how hard it can be for some people, but the harsh truth is that if you want to, you will always be able to do it. And there's probably one outlier in this fucking entire world, so shut the fuck up for you people. Oh, there's always something. Shut the fuck up. And because I promise you, before I was gonna talk to that girl, I was fucking shivering. Every time I'm talking to like a girl, my heart races, my fucking shit tights up. I get super fucking stressed, and I almost have like a panic attack. I stumble over word. I don't know, man. But just push through that shit, man. Like, I also thought it's not just the idea of maybe she says yes, it's also the idea that I want something to happen in my life. Because the common quote by Chud is nothing ever happens. But I want things to happen because I don't want to live a boring life. And that is kind of what I've been living for the past 3 years, if not my whole life, in a lot of ways. I have my moments, of course, but they are far and few between. I can go weeks without hanging out with people. I can go weeks without talking to anyone outside of school. And I don't want that. I always expect, a savior. I always have, and okay, I've took me a while to understand that there is no savior, but even though I knew the truth that, I as a man have to save myself, I just kept wishing for that hero to save me. But, that never came, so I really have to do something or I'm just gonna die alone. That's the fucking truth, man. And I'm not saying, like, it's not hard. Like, because a lot of people might think that, like, oh my god, he's talking like he knows it all. No, I don't know it all, but I know that trying is better than giving up, because even if fail when giving up and fail again and again and again, that's something at least, compared to sitting alone and doing nothing, just suffering in silence. Because some of you people that you think like maybe trying is means like you have to exactly talk to women and fucking blah 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 blah. No, it just means that you have to connect with people that can be online like that. It's baby steps. Some of you in the black pill community, you have black pill friends. That's some way of trying. That's good. The true black pill ideology is giving up. It's nihilism. If you're not born with it, you just give up. At least for the most part. And that's also a thing. I made a video about that. It feels like you're gesturing, and LARPing, being an NT. To be accepted by people, you have to LARP. You have to really fit into their puzzle. Because I always kept to myself. It wasn't, or I kept to myself, and by that I mean I didn't, avoid people. I kept true to myself. That's a better word. I kept true to myself. I never changed for people. I never adapted to fit in. And that's probably why I'm so alone, because I refuse to adapt. But I have realized long ago that that's what you need to do, but I've never really accepted it. Like, I don't want to do it, and I still don't. But I have to compromise somewhere, so I have to, it was like when I was on that date. I can, change. I can become less hateful for the person I love, but I won't lose my core values. That's something I never will, and that's something I never have. But it still feels like I have to LARP super hard because I can't even have my core values anymore. Because I removed a lot of my TikTok videos because I thought like, oh, if I'm dating this girl, if she finds them, she's gonna break up with me, and that's true and all, and but in reality, I don't want to have that kind of girl. And that might seem very obvious for some of you, but I have to articulate it for others, and for some of you, I have to articulate that no girl would want me after seeing those videos, because we humans are simple creatures. We can't understand certain things in a deeper level. We only see it in one way. It's like in some of my videos, I say foids deserve. No, I don't remember me saying foids deserve less. I said foids are spoiled, maybe, but let's just say I say that foids are spoiled. And in my opinion, and this is objective, man. There is no like literary definition of void. Void for me is female humanoid. It's like a slur. It means lesser humanoid. It doesn't mean girl. Doesn't mean woman. It means evil woman. It's like calling someone a bitch. You're not literally a female dog, but you're less than a normal girl or something. And same thing with people who might use the N word. Like, on the surface level, you might think they're racist, but maybe in reality they aren't a racist. They just, use that word to describe what they don't like, or black people that they don't like. It's like, for example, when a racist maybe calls all chinks eat dogs and cats. There's, in my opinion, I don't know if this is objective though, so take it with a pinch of salt. I don't know if ching chong means anything like objectively. To them, it might mean, you know, uh, evil Chinese man. So what I mean is you have to give someone the benefit of the doubt. You have to give them a chance to explain themselves, because in my opinion, this is no shit in my opinion, but none of my takes are that crazy, man. They all have logic behind them. Just you have to hear me out, and that's what many people do. Like in the video, why grape isn't as bad as you think. A lot of people who disagreed with me because they jumped to conclusions after they watched the video or talked with me, they understood that like my opinion wasn't that absurd. So give people the benefit of the doubt, and don't change too much for others, but accept the fact and do change, because you can't only have your way. You have to adapt to society, but you also can't just let society drive all over you. You have to find a middle ground or something, like yin and yang. There can't be too much good, there can't be too much evil. And yeah, this video was supposed to be 10 minutes long, but it turned out to be 19. I will be restoring a lot of my videos, maybe not all, but as many as I want to. Yeah, goodbye.